Welcome everybody to the 2025 BMW 7 Series. I didn't expect to use the 7 Series moniker so soon, but I'm so glad that I have an opportunity to experience this car. I've driven the past generations of the 7 Series and you can find the reviews of those cars on the channel, but I have the 2025 version, and yes, it is the electrified version. So it's called the i7. There hasn't been an i7 in the previous generation, so this is an all-new experience for me. Let's see how this electrified, opulent, luxurious car is. So, the BMW i7, we have to talk about the looks and we have to talk about that grille. Some like it, most don't like it. I'm in the very select few that absolutely love the grille. I think it's very imposing, very appealing, and it's right in your face. When you're spending this kind of money, you want to be seen and noticed, and this grille has a big hand in that. It has LED lighting around it, so it stands out and it shines at night, so you know unmistakably that an i7 or a 7 Series is following you. You do have split tail headlights as well. You do have the crystal in the DRLs on the top part, and you have the BMW laser headlights in the bottom part, which I think looks very cool. You do have a big BMW emblem with a blue halo sign, shows that this is the electric or the efficient version of the 7 Series. This dual tone paint I really like. You have a very big bonnet, you have some bulges also inside, which looks very cool. When you come to the side is when you truly notice that this is the 7 Series. It's extremely long, the wheelbase is long. This is the long wheelbase version and it shows. That lends into a lot of room inside, but more on that later. The dual tone paint really shines on the side profile. You can see the stripe work as well, and this dual tone paint is almost a $20,000 option, and it shows, especially in the sun. It looks fabulous. I mean, if I were to buy an i7, this might be the spec that I really choose because it stands out, it screams expensive, and personally, if I'm spending that kind of money, I want to be seen. So this is literally the spec I would buy. You do have these fabulous looking wheels as well. I think they're 21-inch. They look really good. They're diamond cut, lots of spokes, and they do have M badges, which I don't like. Since this is the M70, you do have the M badge on the grille, on the fender, on the wheels. That's my only downside. Otherwise, I really think this car is very appealing, very striking, and very imposing, and unmistakably the 7 Series. When you come to the rear of the i7, after admiring and adoring the side profile, you'll notice that the rear isn't as offensive as the front. And that's no bad thing. It still has its own cuts and creases, and I think it's still a very stylish design adding to the whole profile of the car. You've got very sleek LED taillights, you've got a small lip spoiler, and you do see the dual tone paint carry on to the rear as well. You have the split line around the boot. You do have some black elements on the bottom of the part of the bumper which act like a fog diffuser, which is a bit of an overkill, but I get it. This is the M Sport variant, so they have to find the right blend of luxury and sporty. Having said that, I think it looks very good. You do have a big boot as well. You do have the button for the boot as well when you press it, and you have a huge BMW logo. This is one of the biggest BMW logos I've seen. I think it's almost as big as my palm. You do have the i7 badging, the M70, and overall I think the car looks very stylish. A very stark difference compared to the front, but it's not a bad thing. I think it still looks very good, and the whole design of the rear gels very beautifully to the side and the front. Now inside the all-new i7, as you can see, the interior is a lovely place to be. You've got the traditional BMW screen, the iDrive 8.5, which I really like. I think the resolution is top-notch, the touch response is amazing, and just working through the menus, like pairing your phone or anything, it's just seamless. I absolutely adore this system. You have the 3-spoke steering, which is now common in all the new BMWs. Used to have the build aluminium parts on the bottom, which I think really nice. You do not have paddles. You only have one paddle, which is the boost paddle, which is like on 10 seconds of extra power you have, and you can absolutely use that power to smoke everyone behind you. But again, more on that in the driving part. You do have a very minimalistic theme on the dash, so you absolutely have nothing. You have some buttons on the center console, but this is for touch, so you can control the AC vent flow on each side, and then you can actually open the glove box as well. There is no physical button, so if you touch that, it actually opens up the glove box, which is very cool. You do have a wireless charger, you have 2 cup holders as well, and then you have this center console which has a host of physical buttons as well. So it does have the crystal gear selector, the nubbin, which I really like. You can select P, R, and D, and then you can actually select B, which is for the regenerative braking. You do have this crystal trackpad as well, so you can, if you don't want to use the screen by touch, you can control it through this, and it feels very tactile, feels very premium. It's all comes standard on this i7. You do have the carbon fiber-ish weave pattern. Again, these patterns can be selected according to what you want. You can choose carbon fiber, you can choose different types of wood finish as well. This particular car has this carbon fiber, which I really like. And then you do have this big glass panel that goes through the doors, through the center of the dash, and then on the other doors also. It's very uniform, very complete, and it changes color as well according to what mode of the driving mode you are in. So currently it's in a blue mode, but if I change it to say sport mode and if I activate it, it turns red. Like the way it changes also, the transitions are so smooth, so seamless, no lag. Overall it feels very premium. You do have a center armrest that opens up for some cubby holes. You can store some stuff, and overall it's very premium. You do have amazing cutouts on the doors as well for the speakers, for the amazing 38 speaker, I would like to say, Bowers and Wilkins system, which sounds amazing. You've got speakers over here, all tweeters all around the doors. You've got on the roof as well, which looks very premium and it sounds so crisp. You can have ultimate fun listening to your favorite music. The seats are very nice. So this is sort of throwback to the older times where, you know, we had cloth seats and then we moved to leather seats, and now we're coming back to cloth seats because it's about sustainability. This car, it's an EV, it loves the nature. So this fabric seating is definitely unique, and especially of a car at this price point. Initially I was hoping that the leather seat, the Napa leather, would feel more premium, but over time I say that this fabric actually feels just as premium as any leather interior would. The seats are amazing. You have a host of settings to adjust, and you do have massage as well. The earlier 7 Series generation, which I reviewed, did not have massage for the passenger, but now for this latest generation they've brought massage through the passenger seat as well. You've got the settings for the memory seats, and everything is just fully loaded, and even these panels are touch. So if you want to lock the car, unlock the car, it's all through touch. You do have a big glass roof as well. The roof does not slide open, but you can adjust the blind. But yeah, overall it's just super premium, and it does feel like BMW has put their best foot forward to make sure that this i7 feels the most premium that they can make. I'm now in the rear seat of the i7, which is the business end of this car. Let's be honest, these cars are meant to be chauffeur driven and enjoying the back seat. As you can see, I have the front seat moved all the way to the front, and this is more than I would say what is available in a business class. You have immense legroom. I'm 5'8" and I can barely touch the seat in front. In fact, I can't even when I'm stretching. Knee room is not a problem. Headroom is really not an issue. And because of this big glass, you have lots of light coming in as well. You do have a center console which you can fold to accommodate a third passenger. But if you're only two, you can slide this down. You have a wireless charger as well. And you're probably wondering, where's the control screen? Because most of these cars have like a tablet. But BMW has now incorporated a screen on each door. So you do have a touch screen panel here. So if I swipe up, and I can control lots of things. In fact, I can control lots of things from the front as well. I can change the song, change volume. I can change the ambient lighting mood. I can turn off or on the roof lights as well. So yeah, it's pretty functional. In fact, I'm actually going to perhaps just make it into a full lounge. As you can see, the under thigh support comes up and it becomes a full bed, and I can actually just sleep. You can also open the blinds. So I have this closed right now because it's extremely sunny, but I can close and open all the blinds, and this is really supremely comfortable. In fact, this is the most comfortable I've been in any car. Actually, you know what, I'm just probably gonna recline a bit more to the bottom as well, which you can adjust the backrest inclination as well, and it's right now at the most relaxed position. And because of this cushion as well, it's so comfortable. You have all the controls here. As I said, you can control the AC controls, the music, the seat adjustment, the blinds, everything. You do have some charge ports as well. So on the seats there is a plaque where you can slide up, and then you get an iPad mount and a Type-C port on each side. You do have AC vents in the center console, and you do have AC vents on the B pillar as well. And obviously this, you know, Alcantara, this suede roof lining that comes all the way from the front to the rear feels so premium. You do have cutouts for the speaker. As I said, you really can't go wrong. And sitting over here does make it feel like a very premium vehicle. In fact, it feels like you've done well enough in life to enjoy yourself being driven around. I'm now behind the wheel of the 2025 BMW i7 M70. So let's get the numbers out of the way. This has a 101 kilowatts per hour battery, produces about 640 odd horsepower, has about 750 foot-pounds of torque, or 1100 Newton meters of torque, which is arguably the highest torque number I've seen in any car I've driven. So yeah, let's just drive it. Put into drive, And if I move to the center, actually, you know what? Let me launch this because you need to see what 1100 Nm feels like on camera. I don't know. I hope it shows on camera. But if I put into sport, activate, yes, I'm ready. And then if I press the boost for 10 seconds, oh man, that launches hard. And that's 100 in 3 odd seconds. And it continues to pull and pull and pull even harder once you go up even higher in the speeds. But yeah, that's instant torque, especially with the 10-second extra boost, which means you have all 1100 Newton meters of torque at the disposal of your right foot. It's absolutely insane. However, I can put it back into efficient mode and everything dials back down and everything is so relaxed, so comfortable. I'm on a very patchy surface of road. It has some potholes here and there, and the car hardly lets you feel anything. Nothing is filtered into the cabin. You just calmly cruise through on the roads. It's just amazing. And hey, that's what a 7 Series is known for, right? Just wafting through good, bad, any roads. And this one is no different. Even though this is running on huge 21-inch wheels, nothing filters into the cabin at all. Even in efficient mode, if I floor it, it picks up speed so gradually, so nicely, so linearly that you never feel out of control. I know 1100 Newton meters is a big number, but if you drive it in efficient and daily drive it, it's perfect. It's so calm, so composed. You never get that hint that you have so much power at your disposal. It's so nice. And the fact that it's an EV, it's completely silent. You only hear the road noise from the tires or a bit of wind noise, but that's about it. And honestly, the concept of electric cars with luxury cars is, I think, the perfect combination of what EVs should be, because at this price point and at this luxury and comfort, the silence really works well. What can I say? I've just been enjoying driving this Luxo, limo, barge, whatever you want to call it, for a week, and it's just been amazing. The ride is amazing, the seats and the suspension combination, the air suspension, which you can lift and lower depending on what kind of situation you are, because the batteries are under the floor, which means that hampers the ground clearance a little bit. So tight speed breakers will be a challenge to cross, but you can definitely lift the car up, and it lifts it up pretty quickly and to a very substantial amount also, if I might say. But yeah, it feels so good. The steering is very, very light in city limits, so you can drive this car in downtown easily, maneuvering through tight spots. It's very easy, and it weighs up just the right amount when you need it to at higher speeds. What can I say? It just drives so well. And if you start into B, like what I do, so there's PRND-B. B is for the engine braking, or should I say engine braking, but it's the regen braking. So it actually is very, very easy. I'll show you something really cool as well. I'll do a quick 3-point turn, and this car has rear wheel steering. So I just did an amazingly tight U-turn. For a car this long, it shouldn't have done that very easily, but because this has rear wheel steering and it has a considerable angle, it did that U-turn extremely easily. In fact, the people around the road did not expect me to do that in one go, but it did it so efficiently. That's the whole mantra of this car. Everything it does it so brutally well, so efficiently and silently. This is like a silent assassin. It's silent, but it's one of the fastest cars on the road at any given time. I absolutely adore it. And you get about 400 to 450 kilometers of range, which is an added bonus. Beautiful package. I mean, this is the epitome of electric luxury, and honestly, I'm glad I got a chance with it. I'm just out of words. It's just a fantastic package. In conclusion then, the 2025 BMW i7 M70. Well, I had lots of expectations for this car. Having driven the previous iterations of the 7 Series, I am not disappointed. This new car still drives amazingly well. It's supremely luxurious, and sorry for using this word, but I think it's still one of the most baller cars in its segment. I think it looks very imposing, it's very striking, and it has an opinion, whether you like it or not. I think it still looks amazing. The price, yes, we have to talk about it. This base i7 M70 is about $180,000, $185,000. This very car with all the options like the paint, the M Sport wheels, the interior, everything is $225,000. Yes, we finally have broke the 200,000 mark on the channel. We finally have a car that's expensive. This is arguably the most expensive car I've reviewed, and honestly, I can't complain. This is one of my most favorite luxury cars, and if I were in the market by sheer luck, and if I won the lottery and if I had that kind of money, this i7 would be a no-brainer, because personally I feel the whole concept of electric and luxury, the way this i7 carries it, is just perfect. In fact, I might not like the gas-powered 7 Series anymore because I'm so spoiled by the instant torque and the sheer comfort and luxury that this i7 provides.